What's going on, man?
What's up, Matt? How you doing?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm trying to do this all night thing like you for a little while.
Sometimes it's better. I mean, being a night person can have its pros and cons. So just depends on who you're working with, and if you're working with people overseas, like sometimes it's a little bit better. Sometimes it's also better just from a time perspective. You can kind of get more things done at night. So
Yeah, I used to wake up before. I used to wake up at like 2 or 3. So I'll have like part of my work time in the night and then work during the day, because during the day, especially with like THN customers and Facebook messages and employees here, it's just I could get distracted. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, very
So
much so. Yeah.
So I just wanted to we do. So those of you guys watching the video, you guys should know Matt. I've done like 3 or 4 videos with him. He's a part owner of DSHN. I've known him for a long time. He's been dropshipping on Amazon for a while. He's pretty much the only person I go to for like advice on Amazon dropshipping. And like soon I'll be getting into FBA. Um, and I'll be looking to him and Tyler just to give me some heads up, because I'm not like, I know that Amazon dropshipping would help with FBA, but like just being on the whole Amazon platform as much as you have, Matt, would be helpful, because I don't know anyone. Do you know anyone that's like, this is off topic, but do you know anyone that sells as much as you do on Amazon?
Yeah. I know. Let's see. Yeah, 3 people. Yeah.
Really?
Uh, yeah. But more so, at least the drop shippers, I only know one other person. So yeah.
Okay. And the other 2 people are like mainly FBA guys.
Yeah. Some of the other people are, maybe combining the private label and obviously, FBA, and then of course those will snowball pretty quickly. So if you know what you're doing on those, you can definitely scale pretty fast there.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to like, so I basically asked Matt to give you guys, so Matt is one of the people, although we don't, let's say, live in the same place or communicate on a daily basis, this is one of the few people that I look to for like motivation, right? Because a lot of people, a lot of people like get motivation from like, I don't know, a lot of these like public figures and stuff. Um, I prefer, like, because I know a lot, I prefer to like know the people around me that are better than me, right? So I just asked Matt to kind of give us like 3 tips, give you guys 3 tips on basically growing your Amazon dropshipping business. Like what has helped you? Give me 3 things that have helped you grow as much as you have. Those of you guys who haven't seen Matt before, he sold like close to 9 million last year. I'll put a link to the sales in the description. I've posted it in the on the dropshippers group before. But just give me 3 things that have helped you.
Well, yeah. The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. It's a great book as far as kind of giving your mindset something that gives you structure. And the 3 tips I'm going to give like tonight are more so just about structure. The number one thing you really have to have, when you're starting out, and this is before anything else really, is just you got to find a good base, a good software, because software really is the key. Now it's 2017, it's not 2002, so you have to have a good software.
No, we're in 2018.
Yeah, 2018. Yeah. I'm still out of it. Yeah, it's 2018. Yes,
Yeah.
now it is. Okay, thank you for correcting me. But yeah, it's 2018 now, so you definitely have to be in the game, and always be looking to have a new new app, a new software that's going to be able to integrate things together. So you need to have a management software that's managing your listings, so you don't have to do as much. So as a CEO of your company, let's just say you're starting your business, you want to get paid to do, and you want to get paid to think and not to do.
Right.
So
Right.
when you're doing as far as like doing all the like fulfilling your own orders, and you're doing like answering questions, and you're doing all this stuff like returns and stuff like that, that takes a lot of time that you need to focus on being able to build and scale. I don't know if you're doing advertising. I don't know if you're doing anything that's expanding your business. I don't know, like looking at new softwares, new suppliers, distributors, or anything like that that's going to give you that edge. but there's always something that's going to be able to help you once you can kind of get that integration with that software. So I always say that's the number one tip right there. Just make sure you have a good base. I mean, I've obviously used a lot of people always ask this question. I mean, but I mean, I've used SKUGrid, I've used, Ecom Solutions, I've used all these different softwares, DS Genie, I've used everything under the sun. Of course, we don't have one. I mean, DS Genie hasn't launched for the Amazon side, but
Right.
When it does, that it's going to be really good. But one of the things I'm saying is you've got to have some kind of base and consistency. So once you have a software you can trust, it gives you stability, so you can basically say, okay, look, now I can kind of scale up this point. It might not be the best software, but you can kind of have a solid point to give you that consistency, so you can say, okay, this is where we are here. It's going to take care of this and this task, this task. Now I can kind of come over here and worry about just this, right? So you kind of put it in one block, you put it in one sector, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the thing. So.
And did you go out and try all these softwares?
Yes. So 2 years ago, when I was like my craziest year ever in business, because I was just so like, I was just trying everything under the sun. I was networking like crazy, always trying to get as much information and much networking as possible, so I could just always be on top of things. I tried so many softwares. Oh my gosh, I paid for so many softwares. I tried everything on under the sun. It was just unbelievable. And so I got a good, viewpoint of what software worked and what software didn't. I wouldn't say some, these softwares weren't working per se, but when you feel pretty confident with a software, you're like, okay, no software is 100%. Okay.
Right.
Here's something important. Nothing has to be 100%, because I don't even feel like anything really is 100%. It's just like software. There's errors all the time with software. There's errors all the time with human. If you have yourself, your team building and stuff like that, there's errors that happen, and it's okay. It's part of the game. But that kind of brings me to the next sector. So once you have that software sector, you got to look at your team software, your team sector. So it's just like, okay, you have yourself, but again, you're still doing too much. If you gotta still do that fulfilling or that customer service, you need to look to hire your VA team. You need to look to have that that automation there on that aspect. It's a little bit hard to have software, do the customer service side, because there are a few things that are really tough to have, like an automated feedback or not feedback, but responses to customers. That's kind of hard to automate, but there could be something maybe in the future that could actually do that. But yeah, having customer service and then having them, having your team that you're building just come in and just basically take all that pressure on that area and then give you more time. You're trying to free up more time so you can get to that, get to the real gist of getting that growth for your company, because you're always looking to the next software or the new thing that's going to be able to take you to that next level. And sometimes it's just you're just one software away to be able to blow up. So this is one thing I want to say though, and with team building, because some people.
I'm taking some notes. If you see me look across, because I was like, what's going on with it? Like someone come in,
okay, yeah. So so some people are just like, okay, well, some people are coming from different like places in dropshipping or in the e-com world. Some people are coming in from FBA only. Some people don't have to do all that, customer service, because when you do FBA, what happens? Amazon takes care of that for you. So it's just like that's one nice aspect. Being able to utilize, like scale or things that you don't necessarily need to have the team do as much of. So that's something that's really cool. So it's kind of in a tandem. Like if you do private label, it's the same thing with FBA. If you do merchant by Amazon, it's the same thing. So how like merchant by Amazon, when you're actually just creating the logos, sending logos into Amazon, and basically Amazon takes care of it. They have the shirts, they have the sizes, they have they're going to start having all these different things you can sell. Just slap the logos on. You can do like all these different and there's other things just other than Amazon for merchant. You can do like what is it called? Gear Bubble, or I can't remember the name of it right now. Gear Bubble. Yeah, there's that. There's other places you can sell in marketplaces for the logos too. So, and it's the same thing with everything. You don't have to necessarily just take one thing and just do Amazon. You can take it to other marketplaces and scale up. So, but I'm just talking about being able to automate and make the best of your business. Okay, so you have to have a team, and then you can also utilize other things with your the way your business is. So like also just like we were saying at the beginning, talking about FBA, getting skilled up and understanding FBA, private label. I'm doing a lot of more research and engaging on private label now. So that's another thing that I'm going to be able to add very soon. But so I'm always looking to grow, always growing different aspects. There's like so many ways to make money on Amazon. So you got to look at that aspect too. It's something that it is definitely complementary to what you're already doing when you're doing dropshipping. It's very nice because it doesn't necessarily take time away. I don't look at necessarily like, this is one thing I said, people are always looking to make money, right? You're like looking to make the most money, but remember, money is not as important as having the time. You're taking the time away from your business, where you are taking, if you have to invest a lot of time just to make like a buck or just to make like a limited amount of money, it's not necessarily worth it. You have to look at it like that. So that's one important thing. Understanding what the value of your time is when you put it when you invest in yourself. So that's a thing you guys got to look at. And when you're taking steps forward, you don't want to just bust your ass and then get nothing out of it, or not get it as much as you really could have gotten out of it. So that's an important thing to think about. Third thing is third tip I just want to say is you got to be resourceful. Having resources. Being relentless no matter what the situation throws at you. So on Amazon, if you don't know, I've been suspended 13 times. I'm going to elaborate a little bit. Being resourceful. So you always, and this is another thing, 13 times for 13 different reasons. So, it's just like, you have to understand, like, if it happens because of these complaints, if it happens from someone trying to sabotage you, if this happens because of your metrics, you have to understand, like, as a business owner, you don't have to be perfect, right? You don't have to be perfect, but being resourceful, being able to overcompensate for certain things that do happen in the business, understanding your platform better, where you can kind of, have a little leeway. You can have a little bit of mistakes to be able to stay in the game, right? And even if you do get out of the game and, you get suspended, you can get back in. Always being resourceful and always knowing that there's always hope for you. And a belief system that you can always get whatever is taken away from you, you can get it back. We've had money. Okay, I've had money stolen from me. Someone hacked like all of our Amazon accounts, and it wasn't stolen from me. It was one of my partners. Actually, they had $30,000 stolen from them. I don't know if everybody knows what happened about 6-8 months ago. It was like a hack where a lot of Amazon accounts got hacked, and then everybody was putting this one guy from Lithuania was putting all their the bank accounts.
Bank accounts, yeah.
Yeah, that was a very scary moment. That was probably the scariest thing I've ever experienced in my life. But being able to, still know that you can, push through it no matter what. People get really scared when stuff like that happens. Being engaged in your business and knowing that you can still move forward when there's things that do happen and occur. So. There's been times where we've had people where Amazon's actually canceled a lot of orders, suspend the account temporarily because they thought there was a hack, and then come to find out it was just something else, and they had to Amazon ended up canceling those orders for one of my guys, and basically at the end of the day,
Thailand, I talked about that. Yeah.
They shipped the orders, but they canceled all the orders, so they were disappeared, they were gone, right? So they shipped all the orders from the supplier, and basically it's just like they had to take all those items on an Excel spreadsheet with the tracking numbers, the item numbers, and basically send that into seller support and basically give that to them, and Amazon actually refunded them. Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you, like, I've been through it all. It's just like I've seen it all. So people are just like, this happened, this happened, this happened. You just gotta work through it. Like, it's just like you gotta like suck it up.
And I think what's interesting about that, what you just said, like, I made some notes about I'm gonna do a video about like what I've learned from you. I'll do it tomorrow because there's certain specific things I noticed that you have a different perspective on a lot of things that help you grow, right? But something simple as the what you're saying, what you all had to like do the whole Excel spreadsheet and send it in. A lot of people in that position would have just given up. They would have just been like, I'm out thousands of dollars. I don't know if this is going to work. It's going to take me hours to go through order by order, download it, and find the tracking number and put it. And some people would have just given up. And I'm guessing that using software would have also helped find all those missing pieces to put it together. Because if it was all manual, then that would have made it even harder, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, and here's some more scenarios. I'm gonna keep going just for a second because it's just like I've got more stuff like that happens all the time. What if your software stops working? What if it just gets, what if your software gets hacked that you're relying on, right?
Yeah.
One day it's not working, right? What do you got to do? Well, what can you do? And you got to understand how to fix that. I mean, sometimes, in my case, we have to, put the store on vacation mode, or in some cases we actually just lower the margin like as low as possible. Just get as many sales after the software when the software starts working again.
Yeah.
Software starts working again, we lower the margin as low as possible to get a bunch of sales, to have that volume overcompensate for the mistakes, right? Yeah. Because it's like it's a numbers game. Okay. I said that in the last video. I was just like, you have a lot of sales. Who cares about the mistakes? Everybody's worried about the mistakes. You just like, you can see basically, like, if you're like 90%, right, 10% is not going to matter. You had all those mistakes, with all the errors. It's just like, just wipe them away, with overcompensate there. What if, your V8 team loses power in the Philippines because there's a power outage and a typhoon? Or what if, the generator, we have a generator, right? For our team, we have generators. That's what we had to do, eventually to solve that. If you're outsourcing from anywhere, I've seen it happen in Bangladesh. I've seen it happen in other countries because I've outsourced a lot of different countries. I mean, it's just like they've lost power. You just have, get a generator for them. I mean, you got to figure out a way to overcompensate for all these situations.
Yeah, because a lot of people would see you selling all these millions and be like you had to have it easy, and that's what frustrates me a bit, because I don't sell as much as you do, and I try to communicate with people on this beginning level. But a lot of people give up way too early. Like the only way you could get to these higher levels is by solving these problems. Even I was telling Becky, I have these guys that work for me. They never call me. Maybe they'll call me and tell me happy birthday, but they never call me to be like, hey, I'm having a great day today. When they call, it's always a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just about solving these problems.
Yep. I mean, and people always have an excuse or a complaint. And it's just like, another ones, people keep talking about is, capital. I mean, like I've said, I mean, you listen closely, it's basically like you can solve everything. There's people that I'm actually launching the company myself because people seem to not be able to find it that well. So, I mean, I'm launching another company that's going to be for credit repair. So I'm actually going to have that for people within this group, within Honest Dropshippers and stuff like that. We're going to be doing that.
Okay.
To get people, on the right track. I use that. I mean, it gets off, some of the inquiries. It gets some, helps you, definitely get more credit available and stuff like that. You have to have something. If your credit is like 500, you cannot scale. I mean, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to play this game with bad credit.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like I said, it's a big deal for to scale it, but it's not an excuse. If you say you have bad credit, fix it. It's just like you don't have money, get on eBay, get that instant payment, start flowing with that. You got to have something quickly. So it's just like sometimes I like to think in a hurry. So it's like do the things in the right order. Okay, and eBay's one of them. But obviously building your credit in the meantime, having a job, having something to stabilize you. But of course, definitely getting that capital rolling. When you have that credit and that capital going with you, alongside of you. It helps so much to just scale up your business faster and faster.
And a lot of people are going to be watching this and be like, I have no money. And then a year from now, they're still not going to have any money. And even if you sacrifice and work a second job for a year and pay off some of the credit card and slowly fix the credit, there needs to be steps to move forward. You know what I mean? There's always a way to move forward.
No matter where you are, I mean, I could just step in. I mean, if I could step in anybody's shoes, no matter where they are, and fix the situation. If I was actually there, it's just but see, here's the thing, you have to do it kind of you have to want to do it for yourself. I can't force you. I can't demon possess this person and basically just make them figure it out. It's just you have to want to do it. You have to be engaged. You have to be I'm ready to do it. But over and over and over and over again. It can't just be oh yeah, I tried once and I failed. And it's you fail your way to success. Obviously,
let me ask you one question. How were you? And again, I asked Tyler this about you, right? Were you always this person? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of people, like when, like I tell some people my story, and like I grew up with no money and went to US, got a scholarship, and like certain parts of my like story was hard, right? And I never really thought about it. Like when it's happening, I never thought about it like, oh, this is hard. You know what I mean? It's just like I just have shit to do. Whether I'm living in my car and I'm living in a house with a pool in the backyard, I just have shit to do, right? So like, were you always that person? And do you think other people could be, obviously someone is not going to be you or someone is not going to be me, right? But do you think people could change how they deal with challenges, or how, like, their whole mindset to be able to just get things done as opposed to like complain? Like it's a hard balance, because when I asked Tyler that about you, he was like, you were always a person that went hard in the gym and you got stuff done and blah, 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 right? Were you always that person? And then after that, do you think other people could become better in that direction, if you understand what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. So I mean, I was naturally like that person. Like I didn't need like anything, any external stuff. Some people, like when they go to the gym, they're like, I need music. People are like, they have this, pre-workout. There was a time where I was like, actually, like I didn't have anything at all. Like, I mean, I was just flowing off of, my own passion and drive, to wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. and just do it. Like, and for basketball, my dream is to play in the NBA. I played with Steph Curry. I played with Stephen Curry. So, I mean, I've played with a lot of, good players. I'm not saying, like I said, I was the best, but I will say that I definitely put in the work to try to be the best. Okay, I would say that I didn't know anybody around me working as hard as I was. So there was a lot of passion and pain, really, because of the fact that I couldn't get to that next level. So when I took that and transitioned it, obviously, to business, that was a big part of it. There's a lot of people in my life that also hurt me too, so that I funneled even more. So it took what passion and what drive I already had, and just just turned it to a whole new notch, basically. But when you're basically able to focus, whether it's pain, whether it's passion, whether it's something that's your why, whatever is driving you into one thing and putting it into the direction you want to go, you're able to accomplish anything. It's just because of the relentlessness ability you have. And when I realized that there was like a day where I was just like, I don't care what happens at this point. I'll start over again. If this happens, starting over again, I'm going to keep doing it. I can get suspended 100 times and I'll start over again. And I was like, I could have this problem happen 100 times and I'll keep doing it again and again. If you have that attitude, it just basically just makes everything work. Like I'm not saying that, the hard way, like there's always a smarter way to do things. But if you're doing it the hard way, sometimes you learn by default, like over time, to get to that right area. So it's just like everybody's always like, there are secrets, there are shortcuts. Ty Lopez talks about it, there are shortcuts out there. They'll make things way easier, way easier. But sometimes by always taking the shortcut every single time, it kind of lowers your confidence to be able to always handle the right situation. Sometimes you're always a shortcut person. It's good, but at the same time, to be able to maintain your position, sometimes it's good to have a little bit of that heart. You kind of were in the trenches, the gutter a little bit. Kind of like there wasn't always a sunny day. It was, sometimes you're going through those late nights every single day. You don't see the sun for a long time because it's like I'm always here. Yeah, sometimes you have it's not all fun and games. It's definitely a lot of grinding and stuff like that. So a lot of people don't realize that when they see their success and see the results. So you have to factor that in. But as far as like for anybody trying to do it, I mean I was I'm like a different breed as far as the way I portray myself and the way I really am. I just I never wanted to be normal, right? So I never wanted to be average. I always wanted to be like this, whatever thing I was doing, I always wanted to be the best at it. And it sometimes took me, like, okay, I'll give you a perfect example in school. I did a little bit of homeschool. I did a little bit of, private school, and of course, a little bit of college. Never really finished college, but I have 3 years of college. But in school, it was just like, sometimes I would fail a class. Sometimes I wouldn't do so well in a class. But if I ever had to retake the class again, I would always ace it. Because I would be so upset.
Right. Okay.
Like one time I failed. I think it was algebra 2. The next year I just aced it, and I was like teaching everybody else because I was just so mad because when you fail, you have a passion like basically like it's not happening again. Like you're just frustrated. Like that frustration gives you focus.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing, and actually same thing happened in statistics. Like I wasn't engaged. I was just and I was kind of in the party scene a little bit, and then I was just distracted a little bit and stuff like that, and too many people in my life. And then when I failed one of my statistics classes, and I think there was another class I did, got like a D or something like that. I was just like, this is just, I'm just sick. I don't like to have a failure or like a loss on my on my chest. Like I gotta succeed. Like it's just like it's so frustrating for me to have like anything that's remotely close to an F. When someone says, when the teacher just goes F or D, it's basically just like it's just a frustration that kind of goes inside your soul, sits inside, goes in your heart, and it's just like I can't have that, I can't let that happen again. And then that takes you, if you choose the right path and you actually allow that to push you to the next level, so.
No, what's that? No. Yeah. All right, but
yeah.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of questions out there. Like how do I do this? How do I do that? I mean, it's there's definitely training and there's definitely good things out there, but you kind of have to have that one base that kind of gives you this leveling where you can't go any further down. Like it's like the training and the shortcuts are all going to be there. Yeah. But you've got to have this point where it's just like it's like a trampoline. It's like anything that if you not ever fall, you just bounce all the time, like always underneath you.
Okay.
And so like that's the way I had it. That's my attitude. It truly does make a difference in your business when you have that kind of mindset. I know people say motivation is it's just it comes and goes. But at the same time, it's so does your business. So if your business is, you got to have that right mindset to be able to consistently get it to the next level and keep it at that level, right? You can't just. Now, some people don't necessarily always stay at the top. If you get to the top and you get to a certain level and you get complacent, you're not going to stay there or you'll go down. You got to make sure you have the right mindset going in. Like if you're just going there for that, like I said, the car. You hear motivational speakers talk about this. You're just going there for the car. You get the car. Or you're just going trying to get in the NBA and you get to the NBA, and then what happens is like once you get there, you can't do anything anymore. You stop. You settle, right? And so the biggest problem is you got to make sure you're never settling for wherever level you are at. So always trying to want more out of your business, and love your business, love the growth, like love the journey. It's just like it's almost like. People always say, it was really hard getting there, and it's just like there is a piece of me that actually enjoys the grind and enjoys like pushing myself to be able to get to that level. Because
I feel like you have to enjoy it because, like I had this conversation when Tyler was here, right? I remember when we first started DSing and first started to do these videos, and it was hard. Like it was like we didn't have money for anything, right? And now it's just like. It's a lot easier, and it's almost boring. It's just like, okay, like we need to get back, and that's why I had to get Quincy back on the Amazon stuff and back grinding, right? Because it's just like we had these ideas, and this is part of what the video I'm going to do tomorrow about stuff I learned from you, because we had certain ideas, and the goals were like almost too low. You know what I mean? And then you get there, and it's like there are no fireworks, like you know what I mean?
Right. You always have to make your goal like a ridiculous number, a ridiculous goal, in order to be able to push yourself a ridiculous amount in advance. I don't really think you can just say I want to just make here, and then you get there. It's just like that's one of the biggest mistakes you can make in life. I mean, just always making a smaller step because you think you can get there. There's people that'll get a degree and then they'll just be like, well, I'll take this job just because I know I can get it. I can't get this job, or I can't be a lawyer, so I'm just gonna be a teacher, or I'm not saying anything bad about anybody, in the job you're doing. So let's just make sure we're on the same page. But I'm just saying, if you were only taking that position or whatever you're doing just because it was easy, then that's not the right move. I don't like that. It's just not my style. So my style is like, you always want to shoot for the fence, every single time, like every time, so sometimes it ends up working out for you. Sometimes you're like Casey Keenum in the Vikings games against the Saints, and you get that lucky touchdown, or whatever, 10 seconds left. I mean, shoot for the fence. Sometimes, you might actually, do some crazy stuff. So.
Okay.
But
yeah, I don't want to keep you much longer because it's like 2, and I'm trying to make it all night like you are as well. But again, as you guys are watching this have seen, I told you guys in 2018 I'll try to get Matt on the channel more. And I have a link to his channel in the description. I'll also put it above because he'll be putting up more videos on YouTube, especially coming up to this training. Like I had a conversation with Paul from the Hustle Husbands, the channel, about the whole Amazon dropshipping, and he's looking for it. He was like, Mark, where's the training? Where's the training? I was like, yeah, it's coming, right? But like, I just want to make sure that like we keep up this stuff because like most people in your position would not speak to and put out content at all. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people come to me and like they're like, why? One reason I haven't been able to grow my dropshipping as much is because I spend a lot of time putting out a lot of content. So like a lot of people just would never get the opportunity to interact with someone like yourself or even myself. So that like I take pride in like having the ability to talk to you and talk to some of these other guys and share you guys' experience and road with the like the typical person on YouTube. You know what I mean? Who might be in your position or in one of our positions, like I have no money and without all the like I have a nice house and like I travel and you have nice cars and all this stuff, but like I try to we'll get to that, but I try to focus more on like what it took to get there because there are enough people that are focused on the like girls and cars and houses and stuff. But like anyway, I did all of that to say thanks for your time.
Oh no, no worries, absolutely, yeah.
All right, Matt. So hopefully we'll do another video soon. But go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Oh no, I mean I wasn't really gonna say like too much more, but I was just saying. I mean the final thing. I mean people understanding the legalities too is a big thing. This is kind of like the last part of the tip that I was gonna say. Coming back to that. Understanding, nexus and understanding taxes and understanding, where you can, take advantage and of your business is a big thing. I mean, knowing that can give you a lot of lucrative ability to make more money, So again, people don't understand that, but when you actually dive into that and try to learn it, it does make a difference. It makes a huge difference when you understand. I'm not saying I'm a CPA, but I'm getting closer and closer to like it's come to that point where it's like the better you are, the more engaged in your business, and the more you know, like less people can take advantage of you. If that makes sense, it's like but it's, who you're hiring or it's like if you know more things, like and in America, it's just like people get gold fever every 2 seconds. So. If you know stuff, like you have more information, you can control the whole system. So I mean, that way it's not necessarily like everything comes, you're a liability. Like it's just like, oh, I want this outsource, I want this outsource, I want this. And I'm talking about like if there's like an attorney or if there's like something in a CPA, what basically to ask them. So you're not having to pay like out of pocket all this money, and it's just like what in certain situations where it's what to pay and how to delegate and things like that, and your business to save you money and make you money at the same time. So it's just like I think it's very important to understand and being as engaged as possible. And like I said, you kind of take too many shortcuts without understanding it and going back. That can affect your money, and that's where I said. It's like, oh, I took like 100 shortcuts to get here, and now I'm here, and I'm making all this money. And it's just like, but you're losing like like $20,000 because somebody is just like, taking advantage of you like right and left. I mean, it's just like that's the problem. And sometimes you can't see that. It's like, I mean, yes, it looks good on paper, but it's just like you're losing so much money because you didn't do some of the grinding and stuff. So I mean, that's really all. I mean, that's really all I have for tonight. But I was just saying that to sum it up, you gotta kind of have that base and that and with all these tips kind of in unison to give you that to give you the ability to to go to the next level and make some money.
Okay.
I know.
All right, sweet. All right, thanks again as always, Matt.
Yep.
And I look forward. Hope today is Tuesday. Yeah, this is like Tuesday morning. So yeah, we'll do another one next week, hopefully. But guys, if you watch this again, link to Matt's channel in the description, and I have a couple other free things in the description. Have a good one, Matt.
Okay. All right, man.
Later.